This isn't good conversation. we can cut this.
No, it's not.
Okay, folks. If you know what patina is, comment below.
That's gotta go. That's actually not patina. It's too much.
Honestly, fuck, that's good. Do we feel good about that closing, or?
The closing you just did? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I completely agree.
It was totally weird.
Welcome back to another episode of How to Survive a Scandal. I'm going to dive right in. There's a lot going on. Actually, I always say that because diving right in is the same thing regardless. Do you have any local gossip you want to share with me?
Thank you for asking. My week was fine, I would say. I did have a run-in with an old flame this week.
Oh. How about that?
There was a lot of tension. He pretended not to know me, and that was offensive. We had exchanged at least 2 or 3 messages on a dating app, and I was like, oh, that's so crazy. That's so rude. Like, what, you don't remember me? And what it made me think is, what do you think is the appropriate etiquette for when you run into someone you've matched with and when it's like actually real? Obviously, the story I just told is not real, but like, I mean, the story is real. The situation doesn't matter.
When you run into
if
someone
you've actually had like exchanges with, or even gone out with.
But you haven't. I was going to say, it really depends on if you've gone out with them or not. If you've just talked to them and you haven't had exchanges with them, then
Wait, if you've talked to them.
If you've just talked to them and you haven't
gone out
with them,
you say nothing.
It depends on what the talking has been like. Like if you've proper talked and you've like exchanged, I mean, I don't exchange numbers or I don't exchange socials or anything like that before meeting somebody. But like if you had, then I think you're in a different territory and it's weird if you don't say something.
Interesting. Okay. And then you think if you've gone out with them, you should say something.
Yeah. Oh, certainly. Unless it like, yeah, that's crazy because you're just seeing a person you know. To not say anything is weird.
People do that all the time.
Yeah, and I think those people are weird. I think it's really weird when you like certainly if it. Okay, I was called out for saying certainly a lot, and now it's like I'm really aware of it.
It's your thing.
But if it's such a stupid thing to have,
it's totally unique and unexpected.
I was literally gonna be like, it certainly is. If you've had an unpleasant interaction with someone, or for some reason have made the decision, I do not want to engage with this person in public when I see them. Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you don't owe them a hello. But if that is not the case and you're just being like shy, then I'm like, you're being weird.
Remember when you went on a date with someone who was like, if you see me in public, please don't.
Oh my God. That was actually.
Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Do not approach me in any way.
That was actually like super crazy because it was like, we had this date. It was like this good time or whatever. We hooked up and like, I didn't even want to. That's a story for another day.
Oh, shoot.
But
should we get into that?
It was totally complicated because I was like, I literally don't want to do this at all. Anyway.
We've all been there. Just kidding. I hope not.
No, and we're growing and we are learning. And some lessons are tougher than others to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had already hooked up and then he was like, is now a good time to just chat through some of my boundaries? And I was like, not really, actually.
I don't know you.
That would have been earlier. And then, yeah, his boundaries were totally crazy. And he was literally like, if you see me out, please just don't engage. And I really like value my privacy. And I just think it's just like, yeah. And I was just like, no, totally. And he was just like, also, can I just take a moment to say I'm really excited about this connection?
He's like, I cannot wait to explore this.
And I was like, no, same.
He like has a wife and kids.
No, and it was like so awkward because I had done this thing where I was like, anytime I'm talking to somebody like on the apps, and they'll often ask for my number, which makes sense. It's just easier to engage with somebody like when you have their number. And so I'm always like, oh, sorry, like I have this really inconvenient policy where I do not give my number out to anybody, like people I haven't met. And this was somebody like we had been vibing and like whatever. Then we like have this date and have this whole situation. And so like as a joke, when he left, he was just like, is it safe to say I finally earned your number? Like a sweat emoji face, like being like, lol. And I was like, so stop you right there. So that was a tricky one. However, and I do want to.
Did you break up with him right then and there? I can't remember.
Like in the hangout?
No, I mean like when he was like, "Is it safe to say?"
When he was like, "Is it safe to say I can't have your number?" I was like, "So this is going to be tricky, but I'm not going to give you my number on account of I don't want to see you again." And honestly, I did respect he did take the time to. Well, no, I shouldn't say I respect. Actually, no, I did respect this because I feel like when you're like, "Sorry, don't want to do this anymore," and it's been one date, the ego is like, yeah, no, for sure. Like, all the best. Like, you know, you don't actually want, but he did say, like, can I ask why? And at first I go back and forth between being like, yeah, well, he just wanted to know. It's just curiosity. Anyone would be curious. That doesn't, you know, require you to lay down your ego. Mm-hmm. But in some ways I feel like it does. Like, and so I appreciated that. And then it was kind of awkward because I was like, so a couple of things happened. Mm-hmm. I was like, I do not blame you for this part, but I did not want to have sex with you, and I did.
You're like, and that's on me.
I was literally like, so already that put me in a tricky place.
You told him that?
Yeah, but not in those ways. Not in that way.
Weird.
But I did.
It's a lot to put on a stranger.
For sure. It was important to the context because I was like, the whole experience felt a bit disempowering for me, and it wasn't your fault, but I was like, I'm in a season where I want my connections to feel very like celebratory and just like fun and feel good. And when we ended that interaction, it didn't feel good, and like for a variety of reasons. And I was very clear that I was like, this is not on you. These parts weren't on you. And then I was like, and then the additional conversation about like, you asking me to not engage with you in public, I was like, it all just came together to be this doesn't feel like a celebration of life. This doesn't feel like something I need to engage in any further.
That makes sense.
How did we get to talking about this?
Well, we were talking about the fact that I saw an old flame.
Oh, yeah.
And it was very challenging for me.
No, and I'm so sorry that you weren't able to reconnect.
Yeah. No, that was hard.
There is so much to dive into, but I think before we do, do you want to play a game?
Oh, sure.
You do?
Why not?
Okay, so you agree to the rules of the game.
Well, no, you didn't say anything about that. You
okay, so once I tell you
the
the rules of the game, you'll agree or you won't agree?
If I want to, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to play Truth or Dare?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Great idea.
Awesome. So then you'll agree to, you'll play Truth or Dare. You agree to the rules?
I'll play Truth or Dare.
Awesome. Okay. Truth or Dare? I'm so excited.
Truth.
Fuck yeah. So remember that guy that you went out with and then you found out information on are we dating the same guy?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Don't you feel like truth is like a yes or no question?
Truth has never been a yes or no question.
I know.
You have two options in this situation because you're like, I don't want to answer this yet. You're not ready. Is that how this feels?
It's not even that I'm not ready. I would honestly tell you in a heartbeat. I'm surprised you wouldn't like ask me another. Like I would tell you at this point.
You're not ready.
I'm just
to tell
like
listeners at home.
I don't know that I want to say it casually, like ha ha ha.
Gotcha.
Because I don't think it's funny.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Completely understood. Because the other thing,
I'll tell you right now. We can cut this if you want.
That's awesome. It requires a little bit more sensitivity.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. Okay, what I'll do is you're gonna tell me. We're gonna cut it.
Okay.
You're gonna tell me, and then I'll give you another truth.
Okay.
Okay. What do you do?
Okay. So he. Oh my god. You see what I mean? It's not fun and games. It's not jokes. And imagine just like learning that and being like, no.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
No, honestly, I was like, haunting. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. You see what I mean, huh?
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. I just want to take a second to apologize for the flippant nature with which I have approached this whole time. I should have given you your space. I shouldn't have come in with frivolous games of Truth or Dare.
Yeah, this is not a joke.
Real shit. We're fucking with people's lives. So, everything's okay. For the folks at home,
I'm okay. Are you okay, Tony?
I will be okay. I just want to say to folks out there, just be careful and do not give your trust away lightly.
I agree.
That shit
And
is
just
sacred.
wherever possible, check the Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group.
Yeah.
Again, he wasn't in there when I did check, but you can't catch them all.
Okay, so and you were very brave sharing that with me offline. I think we do owe the listeners a truth. So I will ask you, what was the last thing you did in the last couple of months that if a friend told you they did, you'd be like, you're the problem?
Oh. That's a good question, and it kind of aligns with my "Am I a bitch?" segment that
Amazing.
I want to
let's talk
bring
about it.
forward, because I have a lot of moments.
Problem in that. Let's talk about it.
What did you say?
I said, but were you the problem? But let's talk about it.
Right. Yeah. I have a lot of moments like this where I'm like, am I the problem? Like, am I a bitch? Because I can be kind of, a grumpy gal. So I'm like, am I like unreasonable? Am I the problem? What was the last thing?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell the story, your
the
journal story.
Journal story. Yeah, we could talk about that, but I don't think I would judge my friend in that situation. Right. I think I would side with my friend, but AKA me. Okay, so here's the scenario. My gorgeous, gorgeous boyfriend Luke, shout out Luke, was generous enough. I was getting very stressed out at work, and I was like, I need to buy a day planner. It's gonna just bring my life together, get me in tip top shape.
Also ship shape.
Okay. But things were super busy, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to I wanted to go to somewhere fun and get a fun day planner, but I wasn't going to be able to. And then my gorgeous, gorgeous boyfriend was like, yeah, I'll do this for you. No problem. I was like, oh, that's so sweet of you. Are you sure? Because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this is something I might want to pick out myself. And he was like, no, absolutely. I can do this for you. Bless him. So I gave him the specs. I was like, this is the color I want it to be. This is the vibe. Here are all the things I'm looking for. He was very attentive, and I was like, he's got this. He went out, came back with a planner that was beautiful. It was this rich brown color, and it was everything I wanted. And but it was for 2027 and started in July of this year. So I was like, oop, that's tough. But hit all the other boxes, so did well, but I was kind of he was like, oh, I should have looked on the inside, and I was like, oh, it's right on the front. But that's no problem. God bless him. And sometimes you just, it is what it is. So then he was like, no problem, I'll keep it, or I'll return it, whatever. Tomorrow when I'm out, I'll grab you one. And I was like, you definitely don't have to do that. It's no problem. But then he was like, no, I want to do it. And I was like, if you're out and about at a particular place, send me pictures of what you find, and we can go from there. The next day, I didn't get pictures or anything from him. So I was like, oh, he didn't end up getting it. It's no problem. Then I get a text later in the day, and he's like, oh, I got you a planner. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. And weird that I didn't hear from you, but that must mean you found something that works really well. And I'm excited to see what it is. So the end of the day rolls around, and I go to his place, and he's like, so here's the journal. What I just need to say as an aside is that the planner is actually great. I use it now. I love it. He got me this adorable, tiny, tiny little pen with it. I'm obsessed. I love it. In the moment, though, I was just like, oh, this is not at all what I asked for. It looked like those notebooks. I think they're called 5-star. 4-star?
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
They use for school,
yeah,
science.
Yeah,
and
they had the
subjects.
binding.
Yes,
the spiral. That's what it looked like, and the color was ash gray sort of.
Right.
And
Yikes.
and you know, I specifically said something really rich, like a rich blue or a rich brown.
Were you
or a rich
picturing
red.
like a leather bound?
I mean, it didn't. The first one he got was leather bound, and I was like,
Nice.
"That's the vibe I'm going for." But it doesn't have to be. I just
Right.
wanted like a really rich color. I wanted it a certain size, and I wanted the structure on the inside to be a certain way. It was this like ashy color, looked like one of those notebooks. Opened it up, and like the structure was completely. It was like a calendar, like you like flip it.
You began to cry.
And I began I began to feel something. And in that exact moment, his cat jumped up on me and scratched me so hard that I began to cry.
I think
Just kidding. I didn't cry.
The cat sensed the lack of gratitude.
He sensed the last.
No, the cat did.
The cat was like, "Don't you fuck with my dad."
Yeah,
and honestly,
it chose to
fair
attack
enough. In that moment, I was like, I have to be honest. Like,
You just said it. Like you were just like, I don't like it.
I tried to like pull it together, and I was also like watching myself in like I was having an out of body experience watching myself, and I was like, oh, she sucks, because I was just like in that moment I was like, okay, I don't think I like it, and I wanted to in that moment be like, thank you. That was sorry.
Was he so disappointed?
Yeah, he was disappointed because he really put effort and energy into it. And he really like presented it to me, was like, here's this like journal. And I felt terrible in that moment. No, honestly, thinking about it now, I'm like, she's such a bitch. But I was also in that moment struggling with this feeling of like, you know, you didn't have to do this for me. You were generous enough to offer, and I really appreciated it. But I would have been very happy to go get it myself. I mean, not happy. Like, it was definitely a chore, but I was like, I would be fine to get it myself because I knew what I wanted. And I knew that I would find what I wanted. And in that moment, I was also just like confused. Like, I was like, what made you think that this was the right move? Yeah. And I could hear myself saying it, being like, oh, that's like what I'm saying right now, I'm a bitch. I'm being a bitch. Sure. Like, categorically I am, but at the same time, the questions still stand for me.
Well, it's tricky because that is a terrible thing to say to someone who has gifted you something. To
Absolutely.
Say, what made you think that I would like this?
I didn't say
no, I know, but it's a terrible thing to say to someone who's got a new gift.
Yeah.
This at the same time, the sentiment is actually very fair. I feel like, and obviously we can say this now because you're like, no, it's useful. I love it.
Yeah.
But I also think that there is something very visceral that happens when someone that like you either feel knows you really well or you've explained yourself to explicitly gives you something that makes you feel unseen.
Yes.
And you're just kind of like, how dare you?
Yeah.
But then you're wrestling with the feeling of this is
like,
a gift.
What am I doing?
And
like,
I feel insane.
I'm being so rude.
Yeah. And then you're like, but like you said, I didn't ask for this. Yeah. So now why am I put in a position where I have to take care of your feelings and like coddle you when I have been like, there's been an injustice against me.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, it's obviously so dramatic to say. And so this is all like a fake problem, really. But yeah, it does kind of feel like we didn't need to be in this situation. Like, I would have taken care of this. And I really appreciated the gesture. But I definitely was like, I was clear. And there's also this part of me that's like, it's like, am I a bitch or am I also just on the spectrum? Because at the end of the day, like, the way I think...
Bit of column B.
Yeah. That's okay. I think, a bit of both. Because the way that my brain works, I'm like, I can recognize... Like, I don't like this situation. I want to be able to be like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is so sweet. Because it's, I mean, just bless his heart. I mean, it's just very, very sweet and like thoughtful... human, and I am grateful for the gesture, but at the same time I'm also like, I'm genuinely confused, and my brain is like, how do I put this? I don't want this. Like, it's not what I asked for, and it's not what I want, and what I asked for because that's what I want. I didn't want something else.
Exactly.
I wanted that.
And I also think it's worth noting that the type of problem that you were looking to solve. Like, you obviously have a calendar in your phone. You obviously have like a whiteboard or like a calendar or something. There are so many means and methods for like organizing your life. Mm-hmm. And so when you're specifically like, well, I want this tool, it's about the process. It's about putting like it's a management for anxiety for so many different things. And like, yeah, it's not just like purely function of I need a place to put my what's happening in my week or in my month, because like you have those things, but it's this idea of like this is a ritual I want to build into my life, and that does have to do with how it looks and how it feels and all of these things. And so yeah, when that feels like it's being mismanaged, it's just like this is crazy, and not only are you not adding to my life, but you are making it worse. And like it feels like this personal thing of like, yeah, I could have just gotten it myself. But yeah, it's so far removed from what is actually happening, which is what, that someone was being thoughtful and got you something and went out of their way, and that's nice.
And it is like such a specific, it's such, like you're saying, it's such a specific use that like all the specifications for the journal itself are why I want it. Not, you know what I mean? If I think about it, if I sort of like get a little perspective on the situation, maybe the like you're the problem of it all is that like it's not that big a deal for me in that moment to be like, thank you, I really appreciated it, maybe like later give some feedback and like get another
I was
planner.
Gonna say, what
like,
would you recommend to a friend who's in this situation? Because yes, I think that the part that you are saying didn't necessarily need to come up, which correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe the like what makes you think that there's like, were you listening to me at all kind of energy? Like maybe that could be put on pause, and you could see if you actually feel like misheard or and unseen, you know, a few days from now. But if a friend was in that situation, what would you recommend? Because I agree with you in the sense that the way to handle it isn't not necessarily like just be grateful for the gift and move on. Because like you said, you wanted it for a very specific purpose. But yeah, what would you recommend?
I would say, I think in hindsight, I would say like you can, being grateful for someone's gesture and for someone's effort does not undermine like the very real thing that you're feeling of like, oh, I don't really feel listened to, or I feel like this person did this nice thing for me without me in mind, like that. And that's a feeling I've had a lot of times in relationships, and it's like it's a triggering feeling because I'm like, did you do this for me or did you do this for you? Like I get confused. That can happen
a lot with gifts in general.
Totally. Like, and I think there's a way to sort of like hold space for both. In a perfect world, I haven't figured that way out yet, and I haven't mastered that. But I do think taking a minute to be like, I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you making the effort. I appreciate this gift, like whatever. And then maybe, you know, sidebarring later and being like, hey, so this is something I've been thinking about. This is how it made me feel. And like at the end of the day, like the other part of it was that I really wanted the journal for like a certain day. I was like, I really had it in my mind that that's the day I was going to have it for. And then it was the wrong like year. So I didn't get it for that day. And then the next day I was like, okay, hopefully I'll get it. And then when he's like, I got you. And I was like, oh my gosh, amazing. I'm going to have it for tomorrow. This is perfect. And then I kind of had to like adjust my expectations. So part of it was the disappointment of not having it for the next day. And then it became this bigger thing of like, I'm always let down in this way in relationships. Like I have to do everything myself, sort of thing. Like this big dramatic thing that's like, that's not about him and this gift, and it's not about this moment. It's like a bigger, deeper thing that I'm having an issue with. And like,
it's like at the end of the day, no one's going to take care of me the way I'll take care of you.
Exactly. Like I'm like, I can't trust anyone to like take care of me in this certain way. And it's like, but don't put that all into the moment of like someone who just did a nice thing for you, because that's pretty mean. And like in hindsight, I'm like, I want to publicly apologize to Luke, the light of my life. I'm sorry, I did you wrong.
And also I will just say, but there's like basically 4 pillars to hit when gifting. I feel like, and 4 things to like appreciate and be grateful for. There's like the time and energy that somebody put into it. There's the money, and not necessarily like how much it costs, but the fact that they were like willing to put something up or like create something, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
And then I would also say that there's the like thought and intention. So like if someone gives you a gift out of the blue versus like if it's your birthday or like whatever.
Right.
And then there's the actual like nailing it in terms of like its value in your life.
Yeah.
And it's hard to hit all four.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Most people hit 2 or 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
And I think two or 3, it's not
That's
bad.
actually a good point, because I think I tend to be kind of like, if you don't nail number 4, what the fuck
What's
is
the
this?
point?
What's the point?
Right.
Why do I need this? And I can be kind of like reductive about it.
Right.
But I think it's true. Like there's more to a gift than just like getting something that says, I know you inside and out. You know?
Because think about it, when somebody you don't know shows up at your house and says, thanks for hosting me, I brought you these chocolates. You're like, that's really sweet. And you might be like, I don't like chocolate or whatever. But you're like, you thought of me. You kind of, you were being thoughtful and you chose to like spend your money and because you wanted me to feel appreciated in that way. Like those things are, I think, very important.
Unless I think like if somebody does, I know if somebody doesn't nail number 4, that's one thing. But I feel like I've been in like situations where people like just got me like garbage, like shit. I'm just like, I don't even. There's nothing about me that implies that I will make use of this in any way, shape, or form. And they're like my partner.
I was gonna say, if the person knows you, you definitely have the weight of number 4 gets higher and higher and higher.
I think that's,
and so like, I think it's like if it's a stranger and you're just like, then 4 you can basically it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yes, I think the weight of 4 gets higher and the actual like consequences and risk get higher too, because a gift that doesn't hit can actually feel really painful.
Yeah.
I think, which is tricky.
I think that's what's happened a lot of times. So to wrap this up, am I a bitch on that one?
I think you are not a bitch.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you are
Can
not
we
a
do
bitch.
like a yay?
Yeah,
sound
I'm
effect
gonna
in
do
there?
I'm gonna find a sound effect. I think you are not a bitch.
Nice.
Not a bitch. Okay, we do have to do a bit of a summer house update. We are having a summer house watch party tonight. You are hosting.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Can't wait.
So
Shout out
we
to all my
haven't
guests.
watched yesterday's episode, but I know a lot unfolds here. So let's do a quick, but before we do a quick summer house update, I do want to say this is kind of like back to local gossip, but it's not local gossip. It's just something that's happening in my life right now, and it's kind of getting scary. I am experiencing really strongly my powers of manifestation, but bad things are happening for other people.
Oh.
It's very weird, and it
You're
happened.
putting a hex on people?
It happened like twice back to back, but I haven't been intentionally manifesting these things. So one day I woke up, this was like a week ago or like, something like that. I woke up and I was just like, I just don't want to go to work. Like, I just don't. And I was like, I don't feel sick of it. I don't necessarily feel like I want to take a day off or take a personal day or like whatever. I just don't want to go in. I just really don't. I feel so blah. And then I'm like getting up and getting ready. And then I get a message being like, someone broke into our office over the weekend.
Whoa.
We're having security. We're having all of these things. Everyone stay home. Well, everyone come in to the office, get what you need, and also check to see what was taken, all this stuff, and then immediately leave and go home and work from home for the next 2 days.
What a dream.
And I was like, oh my God, oh no.
Like, I'm so sorry.
But I was like thrilled, and I was like, because I literally woke up, I was like, I do not want to go in. And like within minutes that came through, and I was like, shit.
Powerful.
I wasn't even asking for anything. And then this one gets a little rougher. I had the thought the other day that I was like, I have a dentist appointment coming up, a cleaning, but specifically with this dentist that like I didn't love, and I didn't love their cleaning. I didn't love how they did it last time. The only reason I rebooked with them is like I went to them in November to get my teeth gems, and then they were like, do you want to rebook for another? And I was like, sure. And I was specifically like, I really don't want to go back to that place just for a cleaning. So I was like, I should call and cancel. But obviously when you call and cancel, they're like, okay, well, when can you reschedule? And I was like, I'm going to have to make up a whole line. I'm going to have to say I'm out of town. I just don't want to do this whole song and dance. But I thought to myself, I was like, oh, that's a to-do list for me. Then a couple days later, I just get a text saying, your appointment has been canceled. And I was like, wait, what? Like, did I cancel this appointment? I did not cancel this appointment. And then a couple hours later, I get an email from the dentist being like, hey, I broke my arm and I'm on disability.
Oh my gosh.
And I had to cancel all my appointments. I'll reach back out.
That's
and I was
crazy.
like, Oh my God. So now I'm actually stressed
Wow.
that if I just have a thought of something I want, it'll come to pass. But something like dark is
Bad
going to
happens.
happen in order for it to
Interesting.
come to be. So as a
But
witch,
I
what do
have
you
to
make of
say,
that?
well, here's what I have to say. The consequences are not that bad. Like breaking your arm is I wish a speedy recovery for your dentist. I don't want to wish ill on anyone. And the point of this is not to wish ill. You're just wishing good for yourself. And if something unfortunate happens to someone else, like it might just be a net positive because again, I don't know your dentist. I don't know their story. I don't know what they're going through. But maybe they're like, I needed a break. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And like, yes, a broken arm sucks, but we're not talking about like a serious illness or like a break-in is not great, but is it the worst thing in the world? I don't know.
No, you make a really good point. And I was really worried. And I was really worried for like wishing for like a bunch of wealth and all this stuff. Cause I was like, what if I'm like, oh, I want this. And then like someone dies and then there's like a secret inheritance.
Yeah,
Like, I
I'd be
wouldn't want
careful with
that.
money.
Yeah.
Money, for whatever reason, to me feels tainted. Like,
Okay.
and I think that's probably something I need to unpack my own relationship to money. But like, I feel like if you just like wish for a bunch of money, that feels scary
Someone's
to me.
going down for it.
Someone's going down. But I feel like if you wish for just like, I want to be free, that kind of thing, you'll be okay. It'll work out.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. So keep doing what you're doing is what I'd say.
Okay, awesome. I was
dream
actually
bigger.
really worried. I was feeling quite dangerous. I was feeling like I was feeling very hot
Powerful.
hands.
Learn
Fire
how to
hands.
learn how to hone it.
Yeah. No, that's really
control it.
Okay. Are you ready for a quick little summer house update?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay.
I didn't know there was much out there.
So, you saw, obviously, Amanda came out with
Oh,
her
yeah.
statement talking about how she's going to get back to
How
normalcy.
she needs to shake her ass. Yep.
And you predicted that it's because she's going to Coachella. We didn't see her at
Yes,
weekend one,
she's-
but maybe
yeah.
weekend two.
You know what? I think I was wrong about that. I didn't. Now that I think about it, I'm like, I don't think Amanda's going to Coachella. But I knew she wanted to do something with West.
Sure.
And like literally, they just went on a double date. Like that's what they
A
did
double
that
date?
night.
With who?
I don't know. This some other couple. There's like they went to the Blind Tiger, which apparently is like a very very popular New York spot for like 24 to 30-year-olds, where it's like you will be spotted if you're going there. Like, and I think they did that, and then they also like went to a movie, and it was very like
Okay.
very public.
Gotcha.
So I feel like she was like, oh shit, we have plans. I'm gonna make a big old announcement,
Right.
and then get on with my life.
So what I saw today, which was actually posted a couple days ago, which I thought was really interesting. Did you see the Jimmy John's ad?
Yeah.
So that
so
was
fucked
crazy.
up.
And for context for everyone, so she had this Jimmy John's ad, and the theme was like ideal rotation type of thing. So it was very like weed themed, and they were like snacky. It was like her. I forgot all of these actors' names, but two actors that I really like, and then one man that I've never seen before. Whatever. And what I thought was really interesting, and I want to have a bit of a PR strategy moment. What I thought was interesting, because we were talking about this a couple weeks ago about like brands choosing to drop her and like choosing where they're positioning themselves in this scandal. And from a PR perspective, I do not think you have to drop her. I think you can absolutely work with her. I think you can absolutely leverage somebody's scandal when all eyes are on this person. But I think that like Jimmy John's is such an example of what not to do. And frankly, I actually am really excited to use this case study in like communications classes and stuff, because I think what was interesting, it'd be one thing if because obviously they shot this a long time ago.
Yeah.
And if they just choose to just cut the campaign, they lose a lot of money. So they're weighing that. If they choose to edit her out of the campaign, they're weighing that as well. Like what are our losses? How does this work? They're like weighing all of that. What I think was really interesting is the number one like comments from people were just like, read the room. And it wasn't just the fact that people are like, we hate this commercial because we hate Amanda. It was just like, you guys look so out of touch and so incompetent right now that like this is embarrassing for you. Like they were more almost mad at Jimmy John's of just like, what's wrong with you and your marketing team? And what I thought was really funny is like, it'd be one thing if this was just like a random like Neutrogena like skincare ad or something, and they were like, fuck it, we're gonna run it. But what's funny about this was playing on the weed conversation. This
Yeah.
was meant to
Yeah.
be an ad that really met the moment, and it met the moment of 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And so what was funny is that it wasn't just the fact that they're like, we're just going to choose to, use this celebrity and roll with this campaign. They're almost like, we're going to try to leverage a moment.
Yeah, they're riding the coattails of something that is not only way in the past, it's been sort of nullified.
It is now completely irrelevant that like, again, if this was like a skincare commercial, I'd be like, yeah, let's weigh just running this. And then let's still show that that like we have a finger on the pulse, and how can we flip this? How can we, you know what I mean? And I would, if it were me and I was in that office and it was like a skincare ad or something like this, I'd be like, can we play with the caption about like villain era or something? Like, can we play with this and show that it's like, we're in on the joke. There are so many ways to play with that and leverage it. I just thought it was so embarrassing for them that they were like, we're going to leverage this Amanda Weed Spokes moment.
Yeah, it's
and
true. Like
it just
using that really hits the mark. Yeah. It's also so funny because so many people are commenting like, this is such a good ad for Jersey Mike's.
Yes.
So many people, and like Jersey Mike's commented. Did you see that? They were like, we would never betray you, Sierra.
Excellent opportunity for
so many people are like that. So many people are like, oh my God, I love this place. Like, I'm never going back. I'm going to Jersey Mike's. Like, everyone's just like, fuck you guys, I'm doing Jersey Mike's. Like, tagged a million times. People are like, Jersey Mike's, you have the opportunity of a lifetime. And they're like, I know someone you can actually co-post with, because Amanda's not co-posted on the Jersey.
I noticed that too. That was something I noticed too, that they didn't collab with her. So I was like, is this a thing? I mean, it was 2 days ago, so it's not like her team just hasn't accepted it yet. Like, is this an active choice? In which case, even more embarrassing for them. Like, you should have just re-edited this commercial and edited her out for you to post this and then be like, oh, we're kind of weirdly trying to distance ourselves from her by not collaborating with her, but collaborating with all of the other actors. It was just such a miss on every side.
Really weird.
It was, and I think what riled the crowd up more than not liking Amanda was just like, what the fuck were you guys thinking?
Like, I think where are you in all of this?
I think the fire was equally coming from just like, what are you guys doing? And I just thought it was a huge miss.
It is
honestly quite comical.
Yeah, it is a very good like case study though.
Incredible case study.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I can't wait to use this because it's a really great example of like what not to do. And I think I'm very curious to know like those conversations in the room, because obviously they had to be weighing this, and I just wish they said, okay, like how can we leverage it? But they didn't even try. It was just to throw up their hands and like fuck it kind of moment. It was
like they didn't do anything. They didn't actually like
they didn't massage it at all. They didn't try to meet the moment in any way. They were just hoping for the best. And like again, like participate, show that you're coming in now in the conversation, and people might not like it. But they were
at
just
least
like,
be relevant about it.
Yeah, they just showed up as so irrelevant, and I thought it was really funny.
That is interesting.
Summer House, real quick. Do you remember Luke from Summer House?
Of course.
Did you hear he's running for Congress?
Stop. Get the fuck out of here.
I just saw that and I was like,
why?
I don't know. It's so.
Who's on what's the Netflix realtor show?
Something.
Yeah, but the other one. Oh,
Yosi?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
He's a realtor.
Oh,
That's
he's a realtor.
so funny. He's running for Congress?
Yes.
On what platform?
Minnesota, I believe. Well, you check it out. I think it's whatever his last name. I don't remember.
That's
check out his
so
website. He's running for Congress. And honestly,
well, he's got my vote.
And honestly, the celebrity to politician pipeline, the transferable skills are incredible.
Clearly.
As somebody who works in politics, if you were a celebrity, you were a politician.
Do you ever forget that like Sierra came into Summer House through Luke and like was someone that he really wanted to date, and she was like not interested?
That's hilarious.
Anyways, interesting. That's crazy. I had no idea that he's running for Congress.
What do you think about the fact that, I mean, we haven't watched this episode yet, but the fact that we're supposed to see like all kinds of stuff in this episode between like Amanda and Wes. Apparently there's this moment where she's like, oh, like watch my butt, like when she's like walks away. It's also funny because I guess there's a scene where like he sits on her, and Sierra told us very explicitly that when Wes likes you, he sits on you. Where are you at with the they've been hooking up since June rumor? Or are you just being like, here's the thing, and people are also being like, oh my gosh, she's being so touchy with Bailey, he's being so, like, I'm like, Wes has always been like a mega flirt and super touchy. Are you like, this is inappropriate behavior, they are hooking up? Or are you just like, this is them and we are doing revisionist history right now.
I think if they were not hooking up at the time, I think they were developing something. I think by that point they had conversations, maybe not like we like each other and we're going to hook up conversations, but like they had conversations where they were beginning to be something to each other. And I do think that's like inappropriate and like snaky. Yeah. I think it's like snaky and weird. But I don't think, I feel like people look at people interacting in certain ways and they're like, are you kidding me? Of course they're fucking. And I'm like, I think people interact in all kinds of ways.
I mostly think that people are wrong when they do.
Yeah, like I think sometimes like people, part of what makes like real like physical closeness and touchiness and feeliness, what makes that fun for people sometimes is the fact that they're not hooking up. They're like, oh, are you kidding? We're just friends, like who like eat out of each other's hands. Yes. And like that's the fun of it.
I think people feel way more empowered to be physically flirty when they're not hooking up and when they have a very like clear protective shield
of like, are you kidding? We're friends.
Yeah, we're just friends. I think I completely agree. I never quite buy that. Okay. How's your decentering men journey going?
Thank you for checking in and asking. It's going fabulous.
Really?
It's going fabulous for me. Actually, it came up for me the other day because I was thinking about this summer and I was like, what is the vibe of this summer? Like, what kind of like looks am I going to try to sport? Like, what's the energy? And I thought of like one of the things that I was like, ooh, I'd like to try these kind of outfits this summer. And like, and then I was like, should I shave my head? And like, should I? I was like really getting inspired about a couple things. And I was like, I had a moment where I was like, ooh, but that doesn't pair well with like, if I want to switch into like this certain kind of look. And then I was thinking about it and I was like, but that look is very male gazy. Like that's the only thing I'm concerned about. If I wasn't going to be like concerned about the male gaze, I don't think I would even think twice about that kind of like missing out on a certain kind of look that I sometimes like to do. Yeah. And like whatever, I like to have variety in the kind of looks I go for, but I caught myself being like, oh, that's like, I need to just like not care about that if I'm gonna, or I shouldn't say not care about it because it's like, it's hard to just not care about something, but I need to be willing to act in spite of that. Like I need to be willing to be like, well, then that's a risk I'm going to have to take. Like the loss of like a scary man's attention, I think is like worth it in the long run for a good slay cunty look, you know?
Do you think you're going to do this? Is this the summer of the shaved head?
I don't know if I'm quite ready. You're
never ready.
I know.
They always say you don't go to the starting line because you're ready.
I know you go because it's time. Beautiful.
Thank you.
No, I mean, talk to me again in a month and we'll see where I'm at.
Okay. We'll follow up on this conversation.
How about you? How's your decentering man journey going?
Thank you for asking. It's going quite well.
And where would you say you're at? Step 1, step 2, step 3?
So I'm definitely, okay, step 1 was admit you have a problem. No, step 1 was be.
Well, there was like a pre-step 1 and that was like come with a humble heart.
Yeah.
And then step 1 was like you got to admit you have a problem.
And then step 2 is decide if you want to change
Decide if you want to change it. And then step 3 was all about like investing in different sources.
Yeah, and we had agreed that I have done all those.
We had not agreed on that.
What was step 4?
You're not ready, sweetie.
You haven't revealed it to me.
No.
It'll reveal itself when it's ready.
Absolutely. It's going to be a long time.
I hope step 4 is fun, like book a trip.
That could be part of it, but we'll see.
Okay.
Okay, so before we go, I do want to quickly talk about, shout out Angela for sending this video. I didn't see anything about Sabrina Carpenter's performance at Coachella. And Angela sent this really interesting. Do you want to watch it?
Yeah.
Actually, it's long. You don't have to watch all of it, but skip to...
So if you didn't know, this is Sabrina Carpenter. She's a singer and she was performing at Coachella. There is a video doing rounds where Sabrina Carpenter was reacting to a fan doing a zagruta. And a zagruta is a sound that people from Arab and African cultures make to honor someone. It's essentially an elation, right? It's performed to honor someone, but it's done at weddings, parties, events. It's just celebrations. I'll play you the clip.
Is that what you're doing?
And instead of just taking it in, she reacts in a very off way.
I don't like it. That's your culture, is yodeling? Is this Burning Man? What's going on? This is weird.
Now, the internet is split.
Yeah, it's okay. She really doubled down.
Yeah, so that's the thing, and that's what everybody's talking about. So yeah, it's essentially this woman. I think it's called a zagruta. Is that what he said? A zagruta, like a call. That's like a celebratory call in Arabic and African cultures, and Sabrina Carpenter. Again, initially I was sort of like, okay, she doesn't understand what's going on.
I totally get being disoriented and
You're
being
disoriented.
Kind of like,
She's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And then she like gives this very like side eye look that is very triggering. Like I'm just like,
Yes.
don't do that. And then she's like, then the person's like, that's my culture. Like it's a celebration or whatever. And she's like, that's your culture? I don't like it. Like, are we a
And then
Burning
she
Man?
said, your culture is yodeling?
Right.
Which was a very strange thing to
So-
say for so many
such a strange thing to
reasons.
say. And it's like everybody's being like, a lot of people are being like, oh my gosh, chill. Like she didn't know. It's not that serious. Like not everybody knows people's culture. And people are specifically saying like, no one's expecting her to have known that. Like
Yeah,
no
be
one's
like,
offended at
yeah.
her because she didn't understand what was happening. People are confused, weirded out, offended because she doubled down
Yes.
and kept being like,
She inquired-
after the person explained it's a cultural thing and it means this, she was basically like, this is weird. I don't like it. Stop it. Like that was her energy.
No,
And I'm like,
that's,
oh, that's embarrassing.
absolutely insane and absolutely embarrassing. And like, yeah, I think no issue with her being like disoriented or sort and being
Yeah.
like having a like, wait, what's happening type moment. That's
Yeah.
totally fine. Inquiring about it and
Yeah.
then getting a response.
Getting your answer.
And then being like, ew.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like
Yeah.
it. I think is totally, totally weird.
Yeah, when she got her answer, she should have been like, oh, okay, interesting. And like if she was thrown off, like fine. But to be like, I don't like that
And
is
like your
crazy.
culture is yodeling. Like, yeah, it'd be so easy just to be like, okay, go off
Right.
and move on. Like,
Right.
you.
And I'm also like, who did she think she was talking to? Like, I can't think
Is
of
this Burning Man?
anyone
Oh my
who I would
God.
say, like, your culture is yodel. Like, I can't imagine my first instinct not being like, oh, I've stepped into territory that I don't understand.
100%.
It's so strange to me. Even if she assumed it was like some white person being annoying.
Yeah. I was just
Even then, I'm like, why wouldn't you pause?
I was just gonna say she treated it as if some like middle-aged white man like catcalled her, and she was like,
Yeah.
"What is going on?" And he was
Yeah.
like, "That's my culture." And she was like, "I roll. Your culture is catcalling. I don't
Yeah.
like it." Like
Yeah.
it was clear like she thought everyone was gonna be on side with her,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
what's happening here is annoying and disruptive, and I don't like it. And like,
Yeah.
I feel like she felt very justified in being like, "Ew."
Yeah.
Like,
and she
that was
has
the
since
energy.
spoken about it
She
and
has?
said,
What
yeah,
did she
she
say?
said, like, I didn't have the context. Like, I think she said she couldn't see the person, and she has since learned what it is. And she's like, I'm. It's great. I've been educated. Whatever.
Oh my God.
So there is a tiny
not
part
the
of
fucking
me
education.
that's like, I
I'm-
know, I'm
because
bored.
you said your culture is yodeling.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Are
Yeah.
we a Burning Man? I don't care about the. Of course, you didn't have the context.
Yeah.
Nobody expects you had the context.
Yeah.
You couldn't see that person. Sure, that would definitely add some color
She's
to the
probably
situation.
like, I thought she was white. Like that's probably what's going on in her mind.
But even honestly though, even then, just being like your culture is yodeling. First of all, not is some people's culture. So like to be like your culture is
Protect the
yodeling.
yodelers.
I don't like it. Like either way, I'm like you're being a bitch.
Yeah, it was giving.
Am I the bitch?
Am I a bitch?
Yes,
Yes.
Sabrina, you
Yes.
are, and I don't care how much
In that
context
moment,
you
yes.
didn't have.
And I don't know anything about Sabrina Carpenter. Like, I don't know if I like.
She's the only straight woman left. That's
I have
that's
heard
her
that.
that's her brand.
Yeah,
and
I have
honestly,
heard
I
that.
love that
Which
about
honestly,
her. She is holding it.
I'm like,
down.
yeah. If you, whatever you do it well, and I think she's
Yes.
doing that well. But it's not something that like draws me to her as like a we love a straight blonde woman. Like I'm just like that's your
I'm
culture.
honestly,
It's weird, and I don't like it.
that clip was crazy, and I want to shout out to Angela for sending that over. Also shout out to Sabrina. because that's going to be the title of this episode. That's your culture.
I don't like it.
Okay, because we're on Coachella, real quick, what did you think about Justin Bieber's performance?
So I actually didn't see very much of it at all, but the pieces
you certainly
of it
know
that
the concept.
yes,
Yeah.
that I did see and that I did hear, I think it's fabulous.
You do?
I do. I think it's absolutely fabulous, and a lot of people have said like, you know, like a woman could never get away with this. Like, think about the like. Apparently, Sabrina Carpenter's performance was like incredible entertainment value, and some of the other performances that people have put on. But I just
Can't
think
outperform racism.
I
Okay,
totally
Sabrina?
agree. I totally agree. But I just think something about Justin Bieber, like, same with his, was it the performance at the Grammys? The Underwear Grammys performance?
Right. Yeah.
I think he's doing something really powerful. And I think that, like, I did see someone talk about, like, there's a very big difference between, like, art and entertainment. And I think that a lot of times we look at artists and we're like, we want to be entertained. We came here to be entertained. And I think that's, like, fair on some level. But also, like, I feel like Justin Bieber is an artist, and I think he's also an artist who's, like, healing. Mm-hmm. And I think we are, like, watching him heal in front of our eyes and watching him, like, really like make art and like engage with his inner child in a way that I'm like, I think that's beautiful. I think what he's doing is beautiful, and I think it's art, and I think it's fabulous, and I wish I was there.
That's your culture. Your culture is YouTube. I don't like it.
I don't like that.
No, I love that. That's a really beautiful take.
What was your take?
And we want the best for you, Justin.
What was your take? You hated it, didn't you?
I mean, I just think I thought the takes of like it just like you know, you eventually just like having to like watch this man like doom scroll like all night, which I thought was really
giving,
funny.
like, boy
and then people just
showing
being
you
like,
videos.
we're trapped by this boy on YouTube. Like that's really scary. I thought that take was like very, very funny.
Yeah. That's fair too.
But I do always appreciate an artist who's kind of like, I'm going to like, it's always interesting and fun when an artist comes out and they're just like, I'm going to really do things my own way. And then you know that 5 years from now, they're going to be so revered for that moment and that everyone bullied them for.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's really doing that. And I like that he does that. But I so see like if I was there and like being like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dance, monkey, dance. Like I could so see feeling that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I think we're going to wrap it there. Do we wrap it there?
Perfect.
Thanks, folks, for listening.
Yeah. It's been an absolute joy.
It's been a pleasure. I say pleasure now.
Pleasure and a treasure.
We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.